And I found this when I lived in Bucharest, and I was there between about 1986 and 1988. And this was the time when Ceausescu, who is the name of the communist president, dictator, was essentially destroying this great city. Bucharest was a wonderful, evocative city, very francophone, very European, and extraordinarily beautiful to look at. It had its tastes and its smells, its wonderful old streets, great, graceful, broad avenues, wonderful vistas, beautiful sunsets, little parks, places that you would be able to see for miles around, and other places that would spring up on you. You know, a wonderful sort of side street would suddenly appear in front of you. So it was like being in a dream. But what was happening was that communism, which constantly wants to remake the past as well as the future, was destroying large swathes of the city. It was not uncommon to get up in the morning and find a house or a street or a church that you knew, that you'd been to, that you'd orientated yourself by, had suddenly been knocked down, and there would just be rubble. And that was an extraordinary experience, and it became a metaphor for all sorts of things in my head. And for about 20 years after I left Romania, I had this recurring dream that I was walking through Bucharest and trying to find my way through the city that I once knew, and everything had been replaced and knocked down. So an old church had been flattened. And this dream recurred. I would have it once or twice a week. And since this book appeared, the dream has now disappeared, which is great, but I kind of wonder what it's left room for, what other terrible, tortured pieces of my unconscious will now step in to replace it. But this book was an act of catharsis about that, and it's about memorial, I suppose, how you remember things. It looks like it's about communism or capitalism, and it isn't really. It's about people and places, and how we make maps, really, of our lives and of our memories.